Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so the update is here and finally we do have our Juggernaut buff. Now obviously it's still extremely early hours and I have no idea whether I'm using the new buff Juggernaut the best I could and so on and so forth, but as always we're going to be comparing Juggernaut's pre and post buff damage, and this time around it's actually very painful comparison because Juggernaut absolutely sucked. Even that Fury buff that you used to get, you only get when you get hit, not when you're hitting the opponent. And to kind of put it mildly, it was one of the most excruciating pre-buff damage recordings. As we can see, it took a fair amount of time and it was bad. It was really bad. Without mincing my words, it was one of the worst damage output champions that I have ever done these recordings for. And here in the end we can see that it took me only 11 minutes and 30 seconds, 650 hits to finish off Realm Legends Winter Soldier with rank 1 6-star Juggernaut. Moving on, obviously we had a synergy team, and I did try it with like 2 different synergy teams. This first one, I was trying to play into Juggernaut synergies and it just went horrible. It was basically unplayable. Then I just added some generic synergy team, and obviously, as you can imagine, results were slightly better, not much better. And I did record the first round without Liquid Courage Double Edge Masteries. However, earlier today I kind of had to put them on for some of my warfights, and I re-recorded it. It did look slightly better with Liquid Courage Double Edge, aside from the fact that if I didn't throw some level 3s, I would have recalled myself out before I could finish off Winter Soldier. So, you know, we had to kind of improvise over there. And with Liquid Courage Double Edge, because that is the post-buff damage that we're going to be taking a look at, it was 416 hits with 9 minutes and 15 seconds fight duration. That's quite filthy long. It really is. So here we go, 416 with 9 minutes. That's with Liquid Courage Double Edge, and we were left at 9%. And then behold here, we get our update, and now we can check out Juggy. Now, one of the things that I immediately noticed, unfortunately, that the 25% damage reduction doesn't seem to be working on Liquid Courage Double Edge Masteries. And this was my very first fight, which was kind of ironic because it also turned out to be pretty much the faster one than a couple of attempts that I did later on. The base idea is you just kind of want to be aggressive and you don't want to block many hits. Dexing hits is fine, it's not the biggest deal, but you really don't want to block hits. And also, ironically, when you do go unblockable, you never want to use that unblockability. But the entire point is to get to 10 unstoppables and drop your level 2. And here we can see that rank 1 is critting for like nearly 8k when you do get your 10 unstoppables and the Fury is active. And even without that Fury, you medium crit for like 5k. So the damage has gone up a lot. The playstyle, so far, the first kind of initial impressions I have about him is that it's slightly chaotic. I'm sure we're gonna get used to it, but it's definitely much better, obviously, damage-wise. Now the question is, where would we use Juggernaut utility-wise? And that is the question that I'm gonna have to ponder for a bit. But meanwhile, I'm just having an absolute blast dashing in there. And those second and third hits on your level 2 can actually crit for like 20k with the 6-star rank 1 Juggy with Liquid Courage Double Edge. So it is quite amazing. Here we can see 20k crit and then 7k non-crits. Now that I unfortunately did kind of get clapped, and I would have gotten stunned, so that unstoppables, some of those unstoppables got eaten away to kind of give me the stun immunity. And here again, 20k crit plus obviously that 4.7k there about guaranteed damage. Now unfortunately we have not received any animation update on Juggernaut. If they gave that level 2 some more hits, it would be significantly more potent. But here, as we can definitely see, it's not hard to get to 10 unstoppables, I'd say, in an average matchup where you can be somewhat aggressive. And the fight duration is cut down quite significantly. This was 138 hits, 2 minutes 11. Remember, it was 9 minutes. It was 9 minutes, and this is like quadruple, quintuple his damage output. And it's very fun, for sure. And here I started another fight. And from what I basically kind of gathered, he's also going to be extremely straightforward champion to play. The entire game plan basically is get to 10 unstoppables and drop level 2. So he is very, very, very simple champion to play. Make sure you do not get any debuffs on you. Get to 10 unstoppables and drop your level 2s. Enjoy your big fury and then rush back to your level 2 again. And you do have quite significantly increased combat power rate, which obviously will allow you to get your level 2s quicker as well. And then you get to benefit from all of that extra damage. Because remember, you get extra attack for each unstoppable that you have. You get extra attack, significant amount of extra attack with that fury. And as long as that Citarac stone is active, that's also an attack bonus. So it all together adds up for quite a significant attack increase, as we can see here. Now here, unfortunately, I did end up using that unblockable, which is something you definitely do not want to do. Because obviously then you're unable to build unstoppables and you lose vast majority of your attack bonuses for like next 10 seconds or something similar to that. Damage output definitely is much, much better. Playstyle is quite chaotic, but I suspect quite fun. That I recorded another attempt against Winter Soldier because I was genuinely just kind of having fun. I was trying to get hit less. And I do imagine that obviously it's easier to do this type of stuff in fights where you do not have to worry about opponent's level 3. And you can be like super mega aggressive, even though Winter Soldier's level 2 is guaranteed to hit you quite a few times, which is going to cost you many unstoppables. So Winter Soldier isn't exactly the best kind of champion to go up against, with Juggy as well, even in Realm of Legends. But still here, again, you drop that level 2, even if it doesn't crit, you do quite substantial amount of damage. And the difference is kind of like night and day, to be honest. I am very eager to see some rank 3 Juggernaut gameplay, which I am without a doubt. I mean, I know that we're going to see some rank 3 Juggernauts after this buff, because I do think he's going to be hitting really, really, really hard. Again, the only kind of thought I do have is where would we end up using him? Because in terms of utility, I'm not going to say that he has like the most mystic type utility. He doesn't have power control. He has only buff control and staggers. And that kind of doesn't flow too well with his gameplay in general. And again, oh, here it does look like that Citarac gem is kind of working, because I am regenerating more than I am taking damage from Liquid Courage Double Edge. So that's kind of cool. I think that might have been, because it definitely didn't work in the first fight. I think they launched it, it was maybe a bit busted, and then they fixed it. Because here we can see that he is healing slightly from Liquid Courage Double Edge. Because we're taking 60, but we're healing for 75 damage. It's very interesting. And when I'm going to record the first one, and take a look at that. So this is going to be the end there, obviously. Hardly a perfect fight here, but with all the recall, with everything else, we're still quite healthy with all the hits absorbed. You're going to see in a second right here. 2 minutes 40, so this was a bit slower, but as I said before, I think when I did the first fight, oh no, it was working. Seemingly that it is working. Fair enough. Never mind. Then he does heal from Liquid Courage Double Edge. And here I did synergize him up. Once again, I think I needed to cut this one because I did it wrong. Yeah, here we go. I did synergize him up with the same team as I did before. And, you know, the results are kind of the same as what you can expect. He does hit harder, some, but that synergy team has less effect this time around because he does have a lot of attack modifiers in his kit. So the number difference isn't that huge because he already has all of these, furies and attack bonuses that you have in your base kit. The biggest contributor to increase in the damage here would be probably the increased crit rate overall. And this fight is going to be slightly quicker. But ultimately, here we can see a 6-star rank 1 getting Winter Soldier down in 117 hits in under 2 minutes is actually a very, very, very good time. I might consider ranking this guy up. My problem right now is the fact that I have quite a few champions that I have to rank up and nowhere near enough catalysts. I have kind of went overboard with my rank ups after July 4th to a point where I have emptied out my catalyst stash. And I definitely have quite a few champions that I absolutely want to take to rank 3. Juggernaut's kind of one of them now, to be honest. Let me know what you guys think about this buff. Are you guys going to be ranking him up? Where do you think you could end up using him? Do you like how he works after buff? All that other good stuff. I'm going to catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information